Out of the depths of the starry firmament came the dark red star, shocking the entire world and bringing us the adventures of Bob Johnson. Mom, Dad, they came after me last night. Betty, I think our son has flipped his lid. Is it real, or is it the Great Deception?
Look, Mom! It's our Space Brothers!
Shh. None of this crap was making sense anymore. Uh-oh. ID, please. If this was the Space Brothers' idea of helping us, why did they make it like a Hitlerian police state? And if these guys are so wonderful, how come I'm so freaked out about taking this food to Anne's friends? I felt like I was in some kind of crazy dream or nightmare, and I couldn't wake up. What I don't get is why we never get to see these dudes.
Mom said they could cure my eating disorder.
Anne said not to worry. Look what they did with her. Am I getting paranoid? Thank God they left.
I just love them.
Yeah, me too. It doesn't even seem real. It was hard to believe that just months ago the world teetered on the precipice of total annihilation. Poor Annie. I was with her when the world began to unravel. Due to yesterday's stock market crash, the Federal Reserve... What's he saying? Oh, Bob! Bob? Closed all banks temporarily. The president says, don't worry, See, Bob, don't worry. 2 days later, Anne had a fight over the last box of cereal at the store. That's mine, lady. It's mine, you witch. Anne lost. A can of garbanzo beans and a can of soup was all I could get. The shelves were totally empty. Well, the president says don't worry, but I'm starting to. I scrounged a few stale hamburgers for my boss at McKing's. Thanks, Mr. Knight. That's it, Bob. Food's all gone, and we're shutting down. 3 days later, nationwide food riots broke out.
We're on our food now! Open up the government pantries! The Fed is criminal! Throw them all out of office! They're all criminals!
Who threw that rock? Okay, bash heads. We only expect this to last a few days. The president declared a state of emergency and suspended the You getting on?
What?
You getting on? Sorry, must have dozed off. Planet unification is only months away, according to our space brothers. The TV was blaring away as usual.
Wow.
Great. Then we'll be total slaves.
Hello, Bob. Awful lot of food there, Bob.
Oh, crap. It's old Henderson, my block inspector. Oh, hi, Mr. Henderson. It's my 2-week food quota.
Fine, Bob. I'm just doing my job.
I knew all about the anti-hoarding law that stooges like Henderson enforced. It had been in effect even before the aliens came. My dad broke it during the revolution. Hey, Bob, I still got all my survival stuff. Let's grab it and head up to the cabin. The riots had turned to revolution, with government troops against patriot militia. Take cover! And in the cities, gangs fought the police. The militias were wiped out, and so were the gangs. U.S. Customs.
I love New York in the springtime.
Inspection-free diplomatic pouch.
That's not New York, that's Paris, you idiot.
Welcome to the United States, Mr. Ambassador. Then the Islamic Jihad brought in the last of their suitcase nukes, a $2 billion purchase from ex-KGB. Ali, this is the ignition device. After 9/11 came an orchestrated attack of nationwide terrorism. Ali Mahmed carried his bomb case to Penn Station. Need some help, sir? No, Allah will help me. Ali took Amtrak to Washington, D.C. At the same time, other terrorists approached their targets. On the first day of Ramadan, Ali arrived at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. The time has come to punish the great Satan. Ali knelt toward Mecca and removed the ignition device.
What? Oh no!
Praise Allah for making me a soldier in this jihad against America.
Hey, you! Allahu Akbar!
Atomic World at Epcot Center, the moment of detonation. Tom and Carol DeWitt's last thrill at Disney World. Subways were hit with deadly poisons, and cities with biowarfare agents. Smells like glue. No, maybe spray paint. No, it's gas. No, it's poison. Ah! There were 8 1-kiloton A-bombs, and 7 2-kiloton radiation bombs, and 17 biochem strikes. A map of the U.S. cities hit by terrorists. Death, devastation, and disease reigned across America. Civilian casualties were over 2 million. There were millions more sick and dying from plague and radiation. In his underground bunker, the president planned his strategy. What am I gonna do? I thought we had Al-Qaeda under control. What happened?
Sir, may I suggest bombing Baghdad?
Sir, we need to act now! The U.S. nuked both Baghdad and Tehran. Praise Allah, I am a jihad martyr. Paradise, here I come! Others got into the act. We need to strike America now. Russia will not tolerate American aggression, never! The missiles were mysteriously destroyed in space. The space explosions sent huge electromagnetic pulses hurtling back to Earth.
Grand control to major.
These tremendous EMPs not only disabled nuclear devices, but planes, ships, and many crews as well.
This is ground control to Major Tom. Do you read us, Major? Major Tom! This is SATCOM! Major!
Beneath the oceans, missile subs enter into total war. At my command, fire! Everywhere it was the same. What appeared to be EMP beams hit all ships. I said, fire! Sir, all systems are down. The ship is dead. Around the world, people huddled in terror. In makeshift shelters, they waited for a nuclear nightmare. It never arrived. Instead, something from their wildest imaginations arrived. Something that looked like a dream, but was really an alien nightmare. What happened to us was typical of what occurred around the world. As we hid in our cabin cellar, "Dad, let's try the radio again." To our astonishment, the radio worked. For some reason, the EMP hadn't destroyed it. "Brothers of planet Earth, do not be afraid. We have stopped your war. We are your friends. Look to your skies." "I'm going out to look." "Wait, it could be a trap." "Oh my God! Oh my God! It's wonderful! Come on out! It's the greatest thing that's ever happened! It's the end of the world!" All over the earth, religious symbols and figures appeared in the skies. A crucifix? It's the sign of the second coming of Jesus Christ! We're saved! Holy cow! You won't believe this, Betty. India. Lord Krishna has returned to save us. Israel. The Messiah. The Muslim world. The Mahdi has arrived. Throughout Asia. Siddhartha the Buddha has returned. After hours of worldwide display of religious figures in the skies, the Space Brothers suddenly appeared in their luminous disk. Thousands of them. And had the typical Christian reaction, "It's Jesus and his angels!" "Annie, we're heading back to the city." They came to rest over every major world city. Sacre bleu! What seemed like the biggest saucer hovered over the United Nations in New York. Except for some isolated skirmishes, the war and revolution was now over. We returned to our home. UN troops were everywhere, and the city was a mess. "Stop! It's Pastor Tripri. I want to ask him about what's going on." Anne's preacher was with a bodyguard. "Pastor Tripri!" "Is this the rapture you told us about?" No, Anne. This is not the rapture. I'm afraid I was wrong. This is the... All right, sicko, shut up. Get in the bus with the rest of the preachers. Psst, Anne, get back in the car. MK Ultra Psychiatric Hospital. We soon found out what the UFO agenda was all about. On worldwide television, the aliens sent their rep, a Mr. Natas Phonos. Greetings, brothers and sisters of Earth. I bring you a message of peace, prosperity, and global unity. His passionate speech mesmerized a desperate planet. Makes sense to me. I like him. But Anne didn't buy it. Bob, I found out what this is all about. Natas Phonos is evil. You're wrong, Anne. He's just strange. He's a genius. What'd you expect? He's more than a genius, Bob. Can you come to the Unity meeting tonight? I'll explain everything. I can't. I'm on disaster cleanup all week. Maybe next week? It's a date. I never saw Anne again. Hurry up, Johnson. That night, Anne and some friends decided to protest the university meeting. As speaker after speaker praised the Space Brothers' New World Order, Anne could take no more. The Space Brothers created us from little tiny amoebas, and I love them for that. This is all a gigantic lie! I have proof! Wake up, people! This is a total hoax! A lie! That's enough out of you, lady. Anne was arrested, along with two of her friends. And they disappeared the same way her preacher did. And I'm taking food to more of her friends? I must be crazy. Next stop, I get off. I hope I can find them before it gets too dark. I think it was down this path. 2 hours later, I am totally lost. Hands up! You move, this gun goes off. Check him out, Terry. Will you keep him covered, Rick? What? Terry? It's me, Bob. What are you guys doing? Bob? Are you wacko? Why'd you pull that gun on me? Sorry, you were supposed to be here 2 hours ago. We can't take the risk. They are hunting us down like wild dogs, Bob. They're looking for you at work, too. We don't want to end up among the missing. You mean like the people missing in town? They've been taken to the camps. Camps? Yeah, the extermination camps. We don't have time to explain. We were spotted. The cops will be here soon. They were ready to leave in minutes. Bob, the bottom line is this Space Brother crap is a big lie. Someone will contact you later. Thanks for the food. Some thanks. I risked my life to bring them food, and then they run off. The next day, I was back at work managing a McKing's. All fast foods had been reopened as government food kitchens. Sir, here's your beans and rice. Bob, a cop is here to see you.
Robert Johnson, I am Sergeant Beth Salinas, World Police. Johnson, Terry Lee and Rick Myers are missing. They were absent at the last 5 voluntary video lectures. Where are they? Myers and Lee are your responsibility, and you are mine. Do you understand?
I was taken in for questioning.
Watch your head. Mr. Johnson, we believe Myers and Lee were involved with terrorists. Did they ever speak against our space dwellers?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Were they religious? I don't know. Did they ever talk about the devil? What? I don't know. You're a royal citizen, Johnson.
You stay that way, understand?
Yes, sir.
He can go.
But watch him.
All right, Johnson. Beat it. You're free.
Captain Shu, World Police. It'll be a cold day in hell before I tell them anything. The next day. I'm from Central. I'm here to do iris scan and IDs. Where do I set up? You want me to take my hat off? Nah, just be still. After the financial crash, paper money was replaced with credits in the bank. You paid with your debit ID card. Iris scans then replaced debit cards as the universal means of identification, because no two irises are the same. Get your new world ID number. Your new world ID. The entire planet was being enrolled in an iris hexadecimal database. At first, it was voluntary. Then, random checks began. Your girlfriend is enrolled, but you're not. Why not? We're enrolling you at camp, boy. Hands up! Our space brothers wanted the entire Earth re-educated. Attention! Wow, this is going to be important, Bob. It was old Victor Rothfeller, head of the World Council.
Greetings from the Council of 10 and our space friends.
Rothfeller had a new program, actual alien videos of Earth's history.
First, the creation of the human race. Millions of years ago, aliens captured primates from Earth. Using advanced science, our space brothers genetically engineered the first humans, our ancestors.
It was mind-boggling seeing these actual videos from Earth's prehistoric past.
They have guided us up the evolutionary pathway. Now they have returned to help us take the great leap, the unification of all the Earth. Wow! Ain't this just great news, Bob?
Yeah, Chuck, great. They made us. All media was under the control of our space brothers and used for our re-education. The spaceman is my friend, my zen, my. Everything was monitored. Honey Pie, don't you just love these alien videos? The alien video brainwashing was continuous. Everybody loved them. Napoleon and Genghis Khan were the favorites. Okay, if it's so important, you can wear the uniform to bed. The temple virgins of Corinth were shockingly pornographic. But what came next shocked the entire world. The aliens showed how they had created all the world's religions. Buddha under the banyan tree. Wow, a lotus blossom. Buddha receiving pineal gland stimulation. They used low-frequency radio beams with intracranial guided imagery. The pineal gland in Buddha's brain. Moses at the burning bush. I am that I am. They showed Moses and Mohammed receiving holographic images. Gabriel visits Mohammed in the cave at Mount Hira. The miracles of Jesus. They showed the anti-gravity beam they had used with Jesus. Step out, Peter! With the exception of Christian believers, major religions were portrayed by the aliens as tools they used to advance and control our evolution.
They showed how they had beamed Lazarus aboard their ship and revived him the night before Jesus came. Lazarus, come forth! Except for a few fanatics, the walls came down between the world's religions.
Under the guidance of our space brothers and Council of 10, Jerusalem was chosen today as the world's religious capital. A solemn peace covenant was signed between all major religions.
We had a one world religion. All the religions are now one. We'll be one big, happy family. Unite with us. Bob, you know they are lying, don't you? Here, Anne gave this to me for you. No wonder they took her away. This is a total expose. It was a tract from some kind of underground resistance group. It spelled out the Space Brothers scam in fine detail. It explained why the Space Brothers had not appeared in public, and it revealed why multitudes were now having personal visitations. It explained the religious demystification program. I want to welcome all Hindus to Mecca. It revealed the horror behind the new campaign of Space Brother Union. Our Space Brothers need to unite with our race to save us. It's a new day and a new age for all people on Earth. Get ready for your Space Brother visitation. Those that had visitations seemed radically changed, like Chuck. Had a visitation yet, Bobby boy? I have. That night, I had my visitation. Bob, you have been chosen as one of our conduits to advance evolutionary change. What the? I am here to unite with you. Don't be afraid. We are your friends. A horror of total darkness came upon me. The alien presence entered my soul. Don't resist. Don't worry. I've come to save you. No! No! God! Ah! As I resisted, the friendly alien became like a demon, and its probes reached into the very core of my being. You're mine, Bob Johnson! No! God, no! I felt like my soul was in the fires of hell. I was being demon-possessed. Then I remembered Anne's tract. I rebuked this demon in Jesus' name. Oh, wow, I can't believe it. Oh, amazing. Immediately, the alien was gone. Oh, boy, wow, oh, what's happening to me? Oh, God, whoa, that was too much. Oh, man, the devil, the demons are devils. The demons! Oh my God! Thank you, God! Thank you, Jesus! Whoa! Oh man! I couldn't go back to sleep. The next morning, the aliens! They're demons! And they're out to destroy us all! Betty, I think our son is flipping out. You don't need to be afraid of him, Bobby. You need to wake up, son, and unite with us. It's the only way out. Get with the program, Bob! Dad? Dad? Oh, God, no! Oh, God. I ran out of the house as if the hounds of hell were on my trail. Wait, Bob! No! No! God! Exhausted, I finally came to the one place I might find safety. The woods, where I had left Rick and Terry. After hours of groping around in the dark, I stumbled upon a dazed and battered Terry. My God, Terry, what happened to you? I found out the world police had raided the outcast camp only hours before. Rick, the others, they're all gone. Oh, God. Suddenly, we were bathed in light. Oh, no. Look, they had found us. Oh, God. Terry, get ready to run. Get ready to run. To be continued. The Great Deception is not coming in the future. The Great Deception is here right now. Hi everyone. I wrote and illustrated this comic back in 1999 and stuck it on the internet a couple weeks after 9/11 in 2001. Yeah, at first I was trying to hawk it as a comic book to some publishing houses and stuff. It never went. But it's been up there off and on since then. And this was not about 9/11. This is about what's still yet to come. In the last frame on the last page of the comic, the frame with the drones, the last words say, "To be continued." Do you know where it's to be continued? It's to be continued in your life. You are right now living in the Great Deception, and it's only going to get worse. Everything the authorities tell you is a lie. 9/11 is a lie. The austerity programs being forced on you right now are lies. The mass shootings are lies. The bankers are all liars. Invading all those countries in the Middle East is all based on lies. Overpopulation is a lie. Global warming is a lie. The news media is all a lie, etc., etc., etc. So, how can you tell when the authorities are lying to you? It's easy. Every time they open their mouth and start telling you something, they are lying. It's just that simple. The TV news is just show business and information control to make sure you only receive correct info to keep your minds inside the box. If you are still caught up in that shell game of liberal versus conservative, left versus right, voting for these psychopaths that the banksters behind the scenes foist on you every few years, you are believing a lie. The economic crash was and is planned. Years ago, Area 51 has had flying saucers for decades. Project Bluebeam can project holographic images from space, completely 3D. The powers that be have at least 4 or 5 weapons that can produce electromagnetic pulses, the EMPs, that can knock out electrical grids and even pinpoint specific devices. Nothing is as it seems. None of these things are happening by accident. They are all planned by the evil cabal running this planet and running it into the ground. Their aim is to kill most of you off and turn the ones who are left into their dumbed-down, genetically manipulated slaves. If you want to find out what's really going on and how these demons in expensive suits have taken over the planet, read The Matrix of Gog, G-O-G. It's time you really wake up and turn that TV off and tune into the Spirit and get down on your knees and ask God for help. And I mean it. You have been almost totally brainwashed by the news, school, parents, movies, and religion. If you want to follow an example of someone, follow Jesus. Here's a guy who stood up against the banksters of his day, or the moneylenders, as they were called in those days. He beat the hell out of them 3 times with a whip and stood up against the liars in fancy clothes. But you ask, what about the UFOs and aliens? Are they real? Well, I've seen them myself with my own eyes. But the deal is, the real aliens are a chosen tribe who have intermarried with so-called royal bloodlines and who control the money of the entire world. And they have real UFOs and other technology necessary to create a UFO intervention of the Space Brothers that will lead to the final obstacle of one world government. Well, not just lead to it, but overthrow that obstacle that will lead to a one world government, and which that obstacle is and has been religion. Will real extraterrestrial aliens be involved? Well, yes, since Satan is, I suppose, an alien. But it will be mostly his children doing the job. Read John 8:44 to find out who they are. These are the same tribe that brought us the Bolshevik Commie Revolution 1917 in Russia, which was financed by their banks in the West. Their most recent shenanigan, 9/11, has brought us the worldwide terrorist state. They are now in the last stages of integrating the old communist system of Russia with Western Europe and North America. This means poverty and obedience for you under the United Nations World Police Force. World chaos lies ahead, out of which they believe will emerge their new world order. So there you go. It's up to you. Resistance is only on an individual basis. Just wake out of your stupor and ask God what you should do, and He will help you. God bless you. Now stay tuned for the next scenario here is about as sane as anything that you've learned so far. So listen up. The president explained how Al-Qaeda had slipped through all our defenses and landed such a devastating blow in the very heart of the United States. On September 11th, 19 Al-Qaeda hijackers trained in the deadly art of box-cutter terrorism declared war on the United States of America. As members of the notorious invisibility cult, they never appeared on airport video cameras and even disappeared off all passenger lists of the hijacked planes. Then, they made their planes invisible and managed to evade all our radar, confuse all flight controllers, and fly unchallenged for 40 minutes by any of our fighter jets before crashing their planes into the Twin Towers. They also pulled off some kind of voodoo and dodged dozens of middle, so hell, I can't pronounce some of them old fashioned. Well, sometimes you just flub up, and then you flub up again, and then you say, well, I'm not the sharpest cookie in the whole knife platter, cookie. Oh, God darn, I get them all wrong. I don't know what. Anyhow, well, they dodged all them missile batteries before crashing into the Pentagon, the most fortified building on the planet. I don't understand it. Then to top it all off,
They used magic physics to not only destroy both towers in a controlled demolition, but you know what? Also did a controlled demo on the 47-story WTC building number 7, which never got hit. And that don't make no sense to me, because I'm from Texas, and people from Texas got a brain, and that never made any sense to me. But this is the kind of intelligence I've been fed by my people that are down there looking for all this stuff. Now, could a magic bullet have brought down WTC building number 7? Very likely. And that's exactly why the FBI thinks that Lee Harvey Oswald was channeling info to the terrorists from the grave. Even though 7 of these guys later turned up alive in Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Don't worry, they won't be for long. All in all, I think this is a pretty good list of patsies, perpetrators. I now declare hunting season on Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Syria, and all the nations between the Euphrates and the Nile River. All those enemies of Israel, the USA. Instead of calling it the Third or the World War III, I like to refer to it as the final crusade to liberate our oil trapped under their sand.
The president's explanation seemed a little far out, but most people believed him. But not Anne. She got on that darn internet. Wow, so many sites on the internet that show there's a conspiracy. You gotta see this page, Bob. Anne's getting a little weird. Annie? Are you telling me that you think there was a cover-up? Is that what you're saying? There was a cover-up? Cover-up? Cover-up is kindergarten talk, Bob. I mean, it was an inside job. It was treason. Just like when Hitler burnt the Reichstag down. Hitler's Nazis set the fire, and then they blamed it on the terrorists. You think Bush blew up the Twin Towers? Bush? Ha! He's just a front man. The Israeli Mossad, NSA, and CIA Black Ops pulled this off. They left Bush reading a ghost story in Florida as a joke. No plane hit the 47-story steel-framed skyscraper WTC Building 7 on 9/11, but suddenly it fell at 5:20 that day, as seen on the left here. Rudy Giuliani, on the right, in Building 7 at the time, escaped, said he was warned, but won't say by who. Eyewitnesses report hearing bombs, and experts say a classic controlled demolition. Owner Larry Silverstein admitted it was imploded to a TV show and said, "We pulled it." Bizarre. BBC reported live that Building 7 fell 25 minutes before it actually fell. See the reporter below with the building standing behind her. The 9/11 Commission refused to investigate Building 7 and did not include 7 in their report. Only 5% of the Americans even know Building 7 fell. Zionist-controlled media refused to report it.